Luka landed in LA and the world still needs more proof that this is real, and it's only fair because this is the biggest trade of this caliber in NBA history. De'Aaron Fox pairing up with Wemby and Zach Lavine reuniting with Derozan are completely overshadowed by the seismic move ignited by Nico Harrison, the Dallas GM. He has to be the bravest GM of all time, and if somehow this works and the Mavericks win a chip with AD, he's going to be proclaimed as a genius. If not, well, he's going to be the most famous unemployed person on the planet. Anyway, a lot of this is still a mystery.
The only people know Luka Doncic is the Dallas Mavericks. He's been hurt. Everybody complains about his conditioning, but all us talking heads, they must know something we don't know.
There are people in the league who say, okay, the Mavericks have more information on Luka than anybody else. If this is what they believe, then they made their decision.
Everyone is still a shock. I mean, look at Luka's profile pic on Insta. The dude is mourning. We all felt the same way as him, that he's going to spend the entire career in Dallas, following the footsteps of Dirk, trying to bring the Mavericks another title. But all of that was gone with one phone call in the middle of the night. Fans went out on the streets to express their disappointment. People were crushed. Grown men crying. This is massive.
This is the worst moment in the history of my life. How are we trading a franchise player? We went to the NBA Finals. He's supposed to have a statue. Dirk got a statue right there. It's supposed to be Luka right there.
So sad. Devastating day for Dallas, for everybody. I know everyone's mourning today. Everyone's crying.
We love you, Luka.
On the Lakers' end, it's a celebration. There were mixed feelings at the beginning, reminiscing about AD's impact in the 2020 title. But hey, they got Doncic now. He's 1 in a million. A generational talent who's going to succeed LeBron James. He's got that star to play for the biggest teams in the world since being a teenager, conquering Europe with Real Madrid. And despite all that fat talk and being out of shape, I think it's all going to change once LeBron takes him under his wing. Training with the NBA's most durable athlete must spark a positive change. Plus, Luka is a dog. I'm sure he's going to use the Mavs' disrespect as motivation. To talk about the fits, I think there's still moves to be made ahead of the deadline for both teams. The Lakers took a huge blow defensively and are now undersized, so we'll see if Pelinka pulls another trick out of his head to land someone like Miles Turner or Nikola Vucevic to round up the roster. As for the Mavs, they look scary on paper, and Davis got his wish fulfilled to play alongside a center in Gaffer and Lively, although I think the first one could be traded in the next 3 days. Regardless, February 25th is now the D-Day, when the Mavs visit the Lakers for the first time since the blockbuster. Another guy that finally got traded is Zach Lavine, but not where I imagined.
Shams Charania reporting that Sacramento is finalizing a trade that sends De'Aaron Fox to San Antonio. It's a multi-team trade that also moves the Chicago Bulls' Zach Lavine to the Kings.
The Spurs pulled the first domino into building a championship roster around Wembanyama. Fox is an electric guard in his prime who's averaging 25 points, 6 assists, and 4 rebounds for the last 5 seasons. He's well used to playing alongside a big man in Sabonis, which is definitely going to help him create a deadly 1-2 punch with Victor, who's way more versatile. But not just that, Swipa has the luxury now to learn even more from the point guard himself in San Antonio. They're going to be the best pick and roll team in the league.
Look at these numbers. When running the pick and roll this season, these guys are both top 7 in the NBA in points per direct play. So right there, you're getting instant offense, and of course, you've got helicopter in the paint on defense. This is a move in the right direction.
As for the Kings, they reunited DeMar DeRozan with Zach Lavine, only this time it's not with Vooch as the center, but Sabonis. And one can argue that this Sacramento roster is better than the Bulls were a couple of years ago, but it's pretty much the same when you have these two ball hogs on the floor together. We saw how high their ceiling was. Why do you need a replay? The Kings did get rid of Kevin Huerter as well, but they received a ton of draft capital, 3 first-round picks and 3 second rounds, so I guess that alleviated things a little bit. And lastly, the Bulls continued their rebuild by moving Lavine, but I feel like they got a lot less than what he was worth in return. Nikola Vucevic now is the last man standing from the trio that was supposed to bring back the glory days in Chicago. However, this trade indirectly complicates things for the Phoenix Suns and their quest to bring Jimmy Butler to Arizona. The Bulls were mentioned as a key partner in the multi-team trade scenarios as a possible suitor for Bradley Beal. With that now out of the door and Butler's unwillingness to stay long-term in Golden State if traded there, this leaves Phoenix as the only target. but now they have to search for some other teams to join the chaotic process. Speaking of chaos, we had two pretty exciting games last night as well. In Milwaukee, the Bucks had an 8-point lead early in the fourth, but then Triple J went nuts.
Jaren, an open three. Bango! Grizzlies back on the doorstep, trailing by 3. Jaren for 3 in the lead. Got it! Jaren Jackson Jr. delivers the lead back to Memphis. A Jaren 3. It's good! Jaren Jackson Jr. new season high.
Wow, Jaren Jackson with 11 points in only 3 minutes took over the lead for Memphis, and Giannis on the other end had to make things even immediately.
Giannis inside with a room service slam. Got a 2-on-1. And he used the self-checkout line. Antetokounmpo with another bucket. Made a 3 earlier. Here's another one. Giannis looks in the crowd and says, "You already know."
Look at Antetokounmpo taking matters into his own hands, hitting a rare 3 to tie the game. But the Grizzlies responded with a 7-0 blitz, taking advantage of the 6 turnovers by the Bucks in the final period. They also out-rebounded Milwaukee 61-36 in this game, which resulted in a lot of second-chance points.
Kennard pulls the 3. Halfway down and out, Aldama chased it down. Wells got on the deck, got run over, ball out of bounds. It'll be Memphis. Game's got a playoff feel to it, and that's a playoff bucket.
Scottie Pippen Jr. was huge for his team with 4 steals in the fourth quarter, stripping Lillard clean on this crucial possession.
Pippen Jr. took Dame's cornbread, 2-on-1. Aldama. Scottie Pippen Jr. is showing you what full court defense can ultimately do and how it can pay off.
Santi Aldama with 23 points alongside Triple J, who had a game-high 37 at the end, were too much for the Bucks, who dropped their 4th game in the last 5 despite Giannis' 30 points, 11 boards and 7 assists. This marks the 7th win in a row for the Grizzlies over Milwaukee. In Philly, the Sixers had a shocking 26-point lead over the reigning champs late in the third quarter thanks to Maxi's 32 points till that moment and a 61% red-hot shooting from downtown as a team.
Yabusele, another 3 from the Sixers. Shot clock is 7 for Maxi. The lane opened up. And he got the roll.
But the Celtics, led by Derek White, would make a run in the last 3 minutes.
No, the willingness is Derek White gets another 3 to go.
And we have not seen it for most of this ball game. White, back-to-back 3s.
Boston came up with a furious 16-4 run to end the period, and entering the fourth, they tightened up the screws even more.
Out to Tatum for 3. Money. Timeout, Philly. Here comes Boston on an island with Yabusele. Between the leg dribble. Step back 3. Boom! Getting it done on both ends. No look. Cornette. The hammer.
Oh my goodness, the Celtics stormed right back into this game with an enormous 25-6 run to take over the lead and the momentum from the home team as well. Jason Tatum did most of the damage with 13 of his 35 points in the final period. And they never looked back, finishing the quarter 38-16, holding Tyrese to just 2 points until the final buzzer. Wow, I'm still in awe of this Luka trade, as a lot of you must be, which makes it perfect time to check out this throwback video about a 16-year-old Doncic going crazy in the EuroLeague. Click right here and talk to you in the next one. Peace out.